everyone. My name is Regio. I am here to introduce the interview taken by OG-san with Erich Martins, the lead singer of Brazilian band Heretic. They do progressive metal with Middle Eastern influences. They go on to talk about recent tours, music inspiration, the current state of the scene, and an upcoming album release set to come out next month. But more information will be provided in the interview. Please keep watching, and thank you for dropping by. I'm gonna go plug back in now.
How's your weekend been? You just came back from a festival, I understand?
Yeah, because the carnival going on. So big party, like not like in Brazil, but they enjoy the festival and dancing in the street, and but too much people, and I needed to work Sunday anyway. I have something to do at late in the afternoon. I'm a tour driver here, so I do some tours with the people, show Lisbon the best spots and where you can visit. Something you would like to do when you arrive in a city that you don't know, get someone to show you the best spots and make your life easier in a strange town.
Very nice. I trust business has picked up since the borders have reopened.
Yes, finally, but slowly opening, yeah. Because some parts like South Korea, for example, which is very strong in terms of tourism here for Lisbon, uh, they start arriving by the end of November. So there still have few borders that are closed. So slowly, but Spanish people started coming again. Italians, which is closer to Lisbon. So this is the fattest slice of tourism that real fills the city.
Have you found that the borders reopening has helped with the music side of things as well, or is it a bit more of the opposite?
Yes, as well. Everybody's touring, huh? Everybody's back. Behemoth here with they're touring with Carcass and Arch Enemy. It saw them here. Now it's coming. Glenn Hughes, or they're gonna play in the casino here. There's also big festivals coming with Slipknot and Ghost, and everybody's coming now. But the problem is that the lower layer of, or you're super exposed and a superstar, then everything is just perfect because people are eager to see the concerts again and spectacles and be together. But the smaller bases of band, the underground, so to speak, it's quite difficult because there's no union between them. It never was. Bands are always looking at their own, and it disturbs the big picture because the union together, 3, 4, like this Behemoth, Carcass, and Arch Enemy, they're big and they're working with other bands because all alone, even then they cannot do it.
Does being in Europe help at all? Because I noticed that you were based in Brazil, but you're currently living in Portugal.
Yes, I live in Lisbon.
I have noticed that there is a lot more touring, a lot more festivals over in Europe, enough for an Australian like myself to be just a little
Mhm.
bit jealous. Over here, we're not even guaranteed some of the bigger musicians like Beyonce, let alone our favorite metal bands. Ah, well,
Yeah,
I'll just be envious from down here.
no, but summer's coming. Come up. We are organizing a tour, something that we're doing on our own. Because if you, like I told you, if you or you're a superstar, but which everything gets easier, or otherwise you're hunting on your own. Yeah. So you have to dig the places, the venues, get people together, and because most of these people, these musicians of these even lower bands, they have to find something else to do. Even some guys that work in the big picture, some of them are technicians, light engineers, all these guys, the road crew, they are not stars. So they need to find other jobs. And most of these guys didn't return. So even in this area, it's quite difficult. People that work in theater, for example, assembling the setup for the pieces and things like that, it became sort of you need to find plan B, plan C, plan D, plan X. So just in order to survive.
Do you think that might be just because of how many bands are out there, or is that more to do with everyone focusing on the big ones?
Yeah, the big ones are easier. So like for example, Rammstein. Rammstein is sold out here for almost 1 year. They're gonna play here in July. 50,000 people in the Benfica Stadium. Sold out. It's been 1 year ago. So, but these guys the things are going fine because they have a big establish and they know how to sell the product. And like I told people are eager. But in the small field, some things are how you see the festivals for the next year. Festivals now in July, they're all coming, and a lot of bands reinventing themselves. All the other ones there have some already some kind of connection. Huh? For example, in Spain, where you can spread a little bit of your scope. Because Portugal is a small country. We receive a lot of bands, left a lot of little bands playing here and there, but the scene is not enough. I'm living here for 15 years, and we've always been looking for musicians here. Since I arrived from Brazil, I quit the music and started working in the benefit of my family to get documentation, so everything's correct, and kids in school. And then years after, I started looking for musicians and to, escape from my routine. And I needed music. And once you're a musician, you got addicted to this. You're never, I'm gonna die with this. I brought the guys from Brazil, the guitar player and the drummer. So I need to change the guy's life 360, find jobs for them here. Because to work from Lisbon, this way we did the recordings the way we're talking now. He showed me his laptop at home where the graphics and the spectrum of the songs were. I say, cut it here, cut it there, put it this place here after the drum did this shit, and then we changed the intro. The intro will become the solo. So, and this, but in order to make the music and do some things, technology is fantastic. But living in Brazil, me living in Lisbon, and we use Portugal as a base to be in Europe. So we are 2 hours from anywhere here. 2 hours from England. We're 2 hours from France, Belgium, Germany. We're in, and guys are working. They have documentations here. You can travel in Europe. So that's the basic thing we're doing before we tour in November.
You've been going for at least 10 years, since 2011, I believe, yes?
Yes, I discovered the guys in the internet. I was always looking for bands, looking for something that interests me. Because my previous jobs, I'm 50 years old now. So I've been on the road for a long time. So in Brazil, it was not paying off. And I came to Europe, started working, no music at all, papers first. And I started looking in the internet, but I never stopped listening to music but looking for my previous jobs, comparison, there's always some kind of logarithm offering you things that looks like it's according to what you like. Big Brother's watching you.
Oh, yeah.
So And then they start recommendations: Heretic, Mirath, Malakesh. Through Malakesh, I found Heretic. And I sent an invitation to Guilherme and say, I enjoyed the songs, but they were instrumental. They had 3 records before I joined the band. So and I listened to a few songs. I said, man, something can be done here. You have a good atmosphere, the Oriental stuff with the metal riffs. We can do something very interesting. Put my vocals that are clean, try to put some harmonies on, and we started with one song. That's Trail of Sins, which is just in the first album that I recorded with them. It's To the Falls. It's in every major platform. Heretic, like Heretic Brazil, because we needed to put Brazil for copyrights. There are plenty of heretics all over the world.
Yes, I've heard the Catholic Church say the same thing, just heretics everywhere. It might have been a while ago, though.
They've been they've always been there as a threat.
But you have been making some interesting stuff. So they were already making the Oriental style music before you joined up, and you were able to provide your own spin on things. What kind of things influenced you to? What were you able to bring to the table, you think?
I was already listening to records for all my life. When I realized I was a human being, my brothers were there because I'm the younger. So I received the influence. Way back there, I was listening to Budgie, Eric Clapton, the Yardbirds, and Alice Cooper. They listen to everything. So you have records from Rod Stewart, then you have Led Zeppelin, then you turn the table, you go to Jackson 5, and then Earth, Wind and Fire. And then you listen to Gentle Giant, Uriah Heep. Yes. So there's a turmoil. You go to the record shop, bring the records back home, and listen to it. Okay, before it was like that. And then I always listening, and my mother was listening to another kind of shit, because my mother's 90 years old, so still alive. I was listening to kinds of Brazilian country music from the farms.
Oh,
With even electricity. Yeah? The guys recorded acoustic guitars with the guitar stuck to his ears, so he could hear the sound. And it became kind of a trademark of this kind of music from Brazil. The guitar way high, so he could hear the response from the box of the guitar. So this kind of music sound in harmony. Strange kind of harmony, because not the rock harmony, it's not the psychedelic harmony. So I listened to that shit, and I listened to the shit from my brothers. So and when a Heretic came, I have already a band with my brother. So Juno's guitar player. He played in Ostrogoth, it's a Belgian band known from the 80s. So we started doing some songs. We have all the records before. It's called White Line. Have the Tara sung in Portuguese, sung in English, and you have already this spectrum. Not all of it, like Heretic, but some glimpse one here and there.
you mentioned that you pretty much picked things up after you were able to get into Bristol and Portugal. What do you think was the biggest issue, the biggest thing holding you back trying to get big in Brazil?
Problem is put a project together, and it's difficult because I started in the 90s and in Brazil. And no, not even Sepultura was starting over there. Always problems. This guitar player that goes, and another band that's not going right. My brother lived in Belgium and I was in Brazil. That's what the problem I fixed later on. So bring the guitar player near you. So you have to create sort of atmospheres and situations to make it happen. I had to bring two guys from Brazil, find them job here. So in order for them to support themselves, have documentation, so we can go on for the next level. So in Brazil, it was not possible. There's those days you have not excuse because your songs were not in vogue because you have this grunge, and then came new metal, and then people were very segmented. They follow that's what's good now. The back things back there, that shit. Start finding family, friends, guitar players and drummers and people that follow their lives. But in Portugal, I decided because I found these guys and Guilherme, for example, which is the guitar player and the masterminder. Then I brought Juno Cananea, the drummer, and the bass player is a social worker in Brazil. So we're gonna bring him only in November, specifically to do this tour with us. We have a big tour now in November. We're gonna do Portugal, Spain, France, Belgium, Holland. Then we go to Prague and get down, finish in Frankfurt, Germany.
Not gonna lie, I wish I could afford to fly over.
You'll have time, huh?
Oh, I got time. It's money I'm worried about.
Time is the enemy.
Oh, yes. Time is the enemy indeed. Although it's still difficult for smaller bands to stand out, get noticed, does require a bit of collaboration. Have you found that with websites like Bandcamp or wherever you can upload the music yourself and basically release it independently, has that helped to a fair degree?
It helped a few bands in the past. Huh? Ghost is a big example that their song in MySpace, and then one day, boom, 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 you're working, you need hard work, you need serious projects and continuity. Maintain the quality, the pressure on working at the right time. That's what Heretic is doing now. We have everything on our list. We have on the platforms with the songs, videos. The thing is live, 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 live. You have to perform. Well, okay, your song is in the internet, but today is overloaded with bands, and it's hard for you to just stop and just like I found Mirat before they were known. Mirat is a band from Tunisia. Now they're touring Brazil. They're touring. They did Japan, but back then, 2011, 2012, when I discovered Mirat first before I discovered Ghost, and then I saw the guys here because they were playing. They were doing opening acts for Symphony X, great show, and then they opened, great energy, melody, harmonies. So you need to work both sides. You need a good product in the platforms. We have it also on physical format as well, but it's just for us now, because there you have everything written. You have specifications, who mixed it, who did mastered, all the lyrics, and who did the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics, most of them, with my brother David. So it's a kind of bond, a gathering of people. The guitar player writes the songs. I try to assemble them the best way possible. I write the lyrics with my brother, which have other ideas, and live in the States and write songs in proper English, not thinking in Portuguese and translating. If you're going to strike this market, you need to stop. You need to speak their English, their language, properly. So it depends on this. And now we're gonna support this tour because there's no Coronel Parker to get us and take us away and bring us fame and fortune. We need to go. We know the guy is a drum player. It's a drummer from a band from Brazil called Andraus. Xandão drummer. He's going to organize this tour for us with the band. We have some gear on the back. Guys, get on the road from Portugal to Spain and blah, 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 blah. Come back and leave a good impression like we did in England. We went there on our own risk. So to play in London, we play Brighton, we play Hastings, and all these three places, they say, "Oh, come back! Whenever you come back, let us know with anticipation because you guys rock." And we did good impression in England. So I know we believe it. The project really works if you have the right mindset, touring, 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 and come back the next year for the places and gather more places and work. Work. There's no secret.
So you've been doing fairly well for yourself in terms of music so far. You've released 9 studio albums, 12 total, and I hear
Yeah.
that you're working on a 10th.
Yeah, we're just gonna be released now, March 15.
Oh,
Yeah, it's ready. The copies are coming from Poland. We did a few copies physical, yeah, because we like it. Like como é? Kelly, traz aqui uns discos para mim aqui, por favor. Asking her to bring some samples here. We did all of them in CDs and digipack. So to look at them and see the lyrics, some people like to see it, like to have it this way, not only platforms and things are in clouds. Back in the day, you like to touch the albums, to feel it, yeah, to listen, to see who did the drawings, who did the art cover, and who produced the albums and things like that. So, like the LPs, big covers with the Iron Maiden used to do it with, and we're doing this with the new album we'll call Gilgamesh. 15 March we'll be having it in physical format and release in the same day in the platforms. But we're already playing songs from this album here. We did in England. We did in Brazil when we went there. I went there last time to convince the guys finally to come run after this dream, because it's a dream that you have to work on it. It's like a job. If you don't go work and get your work done, you're not gonna get paid. And in the music is the same way. You cannot just release albums. Now we have the 10th album, and we needed to put it on the road.
absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah, we have some of them are already released. The Hybrid Fear, the Gilgamesh song. We did release Judgment Day, releasing the singles according to to get to the date of the release. And when the day of release, we're gonna release another video. It's called In the Eye of the Night. This is one of the songs that was mastered by Maur Appelbaum, same guy who did Halford, he did Malmsteen, he did everything. Yes, he mastered, because we didn't have money enough for him to master all the full album. It was 3,000, 4,000 euros he wanted for the whole pack. And after COVID, and we needed to had money to pay the tour and get money for ourselves, because we are not rich and we don't have the Carnot Parker for us. And there was no money for everything. So we needed to see, we need only for him. So we'll master this one. It's called In the Eye of the Night. Will be released 15 March, the day before the official release. But you can listen to songs already. We have it on videos. We have 3 videos already from this album. It's different one, but still the same, because we're trying to pursue something for the live production of the thing. So we have the albums already, which are here. This is the first one.
Nice.
The first one, it was released in France for the Soman Records. We have everything, digipack, all the lyrics. And then came the Barbarism. Beautiful artwork. We have the t-shirt for this one. I have the t-shirt. All the merch is here already. That's the t-shirt from the art cover.
Ooh.
See, this one was very difficult to do because too many details, man. there's a pandemonium going on in this art cover, and the guy had needed to test it and test it and test it. This is a beautiful one.
That is a beautiful one. Bit of an Egyptian meets.
Yeah, meets Greece.
Ah, yeah. Thanks. I was never going to guess that.
Yeah, the guitar player lived 7 years in Greece, and that's the feast, the one that you've played the song for us in your show.
Good song.
You have, and one of my favorite. Then I have the cover from Sabbath, yeah. Anamundi.
Nice.
Anamundi. It was a challenge for me because I sometimes I speak with Tony Martin sometimes here in Messenger. I'm one of his friends, digital friends. So, and he saw one of my videos singing Sabbath songs because I have a very good influence of Dio, and I love it. And love the Dio era. Love this Ozzy as well, but for me, Sabbath, that period of Sabbath with Dio and Heaven and Hell after that, that's metal, man. That puts, for a singer, huh? I'm a singer, so Dio lives on. And he challenged me to say, don't you sing one of mine? Because everybody does Dio or Ozzy, eh? Nobody does Tony Martin songs. It was a great area, a great period of Sabbath. And I say, okay, can I try one? Okay, yeah, okay, you have my bless. So call Guilherme, say, find a nice Tony Martin song because the guy wants to listen to. And we did the song, we did the video with Anumundi, and send him and say, it's good that the word keep being spread. It was very inspiring. It enjoyed it. So I did this one, and the other one, Gilgamesh. There are great songs there, man. This one, Into the Eye of the Night, like I told you, was mastered by Maur Appelbaum, great producer. I talked to the guy already because, we're going to put your song there, and we're going to say that you mastered only this one. We're not going to take advantage of your name, okay? Because, it's something deep for us is to keep our image, and not image, but character. I'm from the time that you need only the piece of your mustache as a proof.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you have good integrity. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, that's what's gonna take you in the end of the line. If your integrity, the guy will remember you. Hey, do you remember? It's not because of that, because I'm like this. Not because something gonna affect me in the end. No. It's right. What is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. That's the poster from the England this was Brighton.
I'm getting more and more jealous of Europe as we go along.
The Comedia with three other bands, great bands.
Yeah, Helsa.
This one was the Helsa, the No Worth of Man, and No Worth of Man, and the headliner, the 10 Plagues, from a guy that lives in England. This one was from the Hastings, with an opening act from the guy, the Sean.
The scarab like your logo?
Yep. This is in the cover of the first album. Yeah, and it's everywhere, even in the other albums. He's somewhere, even in the Feast.
Hell yeah!
See the logo down here?
Does he have a name?
It's always there. No. See it in the other cover. He's there as well, in the top of the Elephant Palace.
Nice.
This cover is great, man. The barbarism best covers. Gilgamesh is a bit strange. It dates back more Sumerian stuff because Guilherme is very influenced by this culture, Sumerian. Been in England in the museums there, he was just mesmerized by the amount of relics and things. Unfortunately, they're in England. They are not in the real state, but the history itself, we bring as a inspiration for the songs, and I bring the rest. Like I told you, what I've heard from the past, all the albums and the LPs. Then we get a handful of random that I heard in the past here. Give me a second.
Not a problem.
A few moments later.
Great records, man. Frank Marino. All LPs. See what else we got here. George Benson. See what we heard before. George Benson. Frank Marino. Yes. Yes, Relayer. From Yes to Metallica.
Obligatory.
Yeah. And then we go to Tarkus.
Nice.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And then, no, you see the difference of songs. And then we listen to Moody Blues.
Oh, nice.
From Moody Blues to the Rods. Dio's cousin.
I need to check some of these guys out.
And I came up with this one. This is great. It's Mozart.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. And
classic.
see, George Benson to Priest. The gamma of things and singers. And now for me, that's how for me today is tough to listen to music, man.
Yeah? You're not liking the direction it's gone in?
But this the same direction, the same kind of guitar sound, the same sound of drums. You don't recognize this guy or that guy anymore. See, before you heard John Bonham and you heard Neil Peart, or you hear Eddie Van Halen guy. I remember his name now, not Eddie, the drummer. So you recognize right away the sound of the drums. I'm not talking voice, because voice is particular. Yeah, its voice is, or it is or it is not. But a drum sound. Today you don't recognize. You can put a machine playing and nobody gonna know that it's Cozy Powell on the drums, for example, or Phil Collins, or it's Scott Travis. No, they all sound the same. Drums sound the same. Guitar sounds the same. The songs is basically a big wave. You don't have this gamma of singers, for example. Show me a handful of good singers now.
Well, good is a bit relative.
No, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'll take interesting over good. Like some people, some bands, like you hear them and they're like, okay, that's not great. They didn't pick the best singer, but then, can't you sit with it for a bit and you're like, okay, yeah, that kind of works. I like it. I appreciate what they're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it really depends on the genre. Some certain genres I think are a bit worse than others when it comes to producing samey sort of stuff. Like death metal, for example. Some of it is amazing, some of it's really good, but then there is some of it is quite generic, where even within the same album, you go from track to track and you're like, wait, when did this song start?
Yeah, if you go to the toilet, you come back, there's another song, but you just, okay, it's a good passage in the song. Oh, it's 3 songs after. It's still the same song.
Yeah, I tend to call that Motorhead syndrome, and that's not knocking Motorhead. It's just like when a band clearly does just one song but just slightly different, and you have to really listen to tell which one it is, then
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of yeah.
Ooh, I told this Motorhead joke once. Oof, I almost was killed.
Oh,
But the
I
guy,
want to hear it.
yeah, because I say, because it's like AC/DC or Motorhead kind of stuff. That is like a big train with a lot of uh, containers behind him, never ending sound. Clack, 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 clack. It's like a never ending train passing through, and you're waiting for it to get through, you know? You say, eh, but this is better than that pork food that you do with Heretic. Because pork food in Brazil is back in the day, you fed the porks and the pigs, I mean, with the rest of food. What's left from everything, you just we call it in Portuguese, we call it lavagem, you know, because it's a bunch of rest of food. And they say, it's better than lavagem that you do with Heretic. I'll say, man, this is perfect, man. I've heard kebab music. I've heard Allah songs, but lavagem is just great. This depicts really, because this amount of things, but he told it in a bad way because of I offended the Motorhead. But I like Motorhead, and I respect the guys a lot, man. You cannot not respect guys like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even though I say that, like, yeah, the songs are similar, they're still good songs. It's just, yes, with some bands that can become a little bit more egregious. You know, even with Motorhead, I can be like, oh yeah, that's Iron Fist, that's Ace of Spades, etc., etc. But yeah, genuinely with some of the songs, and these are the ones I generally try to skip over because I like looking for interesting bands.
Of course.
You know, as you say, you go to the toilet, you come back, it's 2 songs deep, and you didn't notice.
Yep. Yeah, but in these days, I recognize as good for me in my taste, because it gathers many factors. You have not only a good singer, because otherwise I would be listening to jazz, or where these guys, they really can perform professionally and tip top. But that's not what I want. I wanted another Eric Adams, great singer from Manowar, still alive and doing, but no more songs. No, it's been 20 years more. There's not even an interesting song from Manowar, but the guy still can perform. The Mirath guy, Zahir Zorgati, great. I saw him live 2 times. Super band as well, with chorus. And now this ghost stuff. I'm just got hypnotized by this ghost now, because I didn't understand really what they meant with their Pope dressing like songs and blah blah blah. But then, according to their career, they started really almost together with Heretic, 2011. The guy had a plan, and he worked in the MySpace, and but he got the right direction, and the singing is very good, chorus behind, great guitar work, and that's what I'm finding interesting now. But the rest for me, I like the song, the Arch Enemy, Carcass, Behemoth. Okay, but man, after the fourth song, there's nothing else. You hear this other bands like Mirath or this Ghost, they have different tunes. You go from a very dancing song for something dark and deep with a lyric with second intentions. That's the lyric and the singing and the double harmonies that worked big time, and it will always work. It's a big bands, the Beatles. Creedence, Forget. All these guys, they have double vocals with the sound, big sound in the back. You have James Brown, full of vocals on the back. For me, that's what I appreciate in music. And of course, I like this super metal and heavy songs, but like Alice Cooper said once, where is the song?
You can definitely get as heavy as you can possibly get, but
Yeah.
you know, some people do just focus on that to the detriment of all else.
What the fan that he finally did, oh, they have this niche, so let's attack on this direction. Let's get this guy kind of mindset, while other bands took everybody. Yeah, let's go to dance music. Let's go to pop music. Let's go to death metal stuff and rock metal, hard rock and glam. So we're gonna amalgamate all these cultures. They're gonna like some of the elements of the songs, not only one niche. That's what happened with metal in the past. They were too heavy, and then they become super poppy because of the moment. See?
Yeah.
But if you started with all the elements in at once, you won't be betrayed. I've saw people burning Priest albums when they released Turbo. You cannot come from Defenders of the Faith and release Turbo. Come on, man, give me a break. Make your career with that. Or you started as something already, oh, that's what we are. We are kind of metal band, but they have this element that may please musicians and may please people that really like to hear music. That's where the focus is. I was talking with the technician from Mirath, Erich as well, his name. And he was telling me, Eric, forget about musicians, get a fan base, some people that listen to your music, not playing against you. Like I told in the beginning of our interview, people are they don't do this. They do. You're interfering with my turf. So go for a fan base, create the people that are gonna take the record. And it's like you guys, like the Edmar in England, which is not a musician. He believes the project since back then, the Treehouse Records, which is our partner in England. Great, cannot go without telling how important this guy's Edmar, for example, Edmar Matos is our man in England. He's doing our job there, but we're gonna try to get there next year because we need the proper papers for the rest of the guys to enter England. The fan base, the guy that listen to your songs, believes your project. They say, man, I don't understand why you're not being recognized. So we're forming partnerships with these people here, people there, and don't go for the musicians. They are your friends, but they are not going to share your stuff. Look for people that like to listen to you. They will share your songs. They will go to your concerts. They will tell friends to listen to your music. They're gonna tell how good you are. Musicians, for many, many, many musicians, you are a threat. They think the market is limited to one. Like you can have only one restaurant in the world. You cannot eat different food because you don't eat here, you're my enemy. Music is becoming like this. There's many places are like this, man.
interest in their music, then you can find a link to their Bandcamp page in the description below. If you would like to support Breakdown Under, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and sharing wherever you can. It helps the bands that have kindly involved themselves in the project, and I might get some working on servos. If you're feeling especially generous, there is a Ko-Fi page available for Breakdown Under. The link for that will also be in the description. Otherwise, if you are a band or artist interested in including your music in the Breakdown Under show, please send an email. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.